So welcome to this month's Granny Square project inspiration, which is this cute little bucket bag. So I am Siona, your crochet mentor and leader of the Hooked on Crochet Club, and I love a granny square, and it is perfect for designing. It's a wonderful way to have a mindful crochet practice, and so because I make a square, at least one square every day, I like to turn them into projects. Now I'm using squares that are in the library from the Hooked on Crochet Club, and this is one of them that I've just done less rows on, but this is the square that I've used. And so yeah, let me explain. So this one, I do love a bag, I must say. So let me see how I made this one. So I started off, so I've used Shippy's Mighty, I think it was, which is it's a blend of jute and cotton, which is designed for bags. So it's a nice sturdy yarn. Doesn't stretch too much, but it actually works really nicely. So I found that some, if they're not the blend, they're usually quite scratchy, the bag yarns, like the jutes. I'm probably not even saying that right. But anyway, so I've used 2 balls. So they were 50-gram balls. That's why the bag's so small, because I only had the 2. And I was trying to use up my stash. But it's a good size. So if we look at this, we're looking at laying flat. It's about 20 centimeters wide and about the same tall. So you've got that for your dimensions, because that's folded over there. So the square, each square for this one is roughly 9 centimeters by 9 centimeters, because it is square. I've done 1, 2, 3 rounds, so I kept it quite small, and I've made 6 of them. Okay, then what I've done is, it's another square from the Hooked on Crochet Club. This one is a hexagon, and I have just added more rows to what the original one. So most of my squares have 5 rounds in them inside the Hooked on Crochet Club, but this one, so all I've done is kept increasing the number of rows until I got to the same number of stitches on a side as I had on the side of the square, or near enough, and then I've stopped increasing. So I've done, I think it's 3 rounds without an increase. And then so got to the base, the size that I want. I found it easier to do the hexagon rather than a circle, just because it makes it easier to go with the squares. Now, if you wanted to do a bigger bag, you've got a couple of options. You could do more squares and make 2 per side of the hexagon, or you could do a bigger square and just do a bigger hexagon to match that. So as I said, I increased until I had the same number of stitches inside as I did for that, and then I just did rounds without any increases in it. So instead of increasing in the corner, I have just done 1 stitch in there and then just carried that through. I then joined the squares together. So for this one, I actually joined them with single crochet, just a little bit more sturdiness there. Makes for a thicker join though. And here I joined in the back loop only, so I ended up with a little bit of definition. And again, I'm pretty sure I did that with single crochet as well. Where is it? Yep, so you could sew it if you wanted to. You could do, how you join it is entirely up to you. Once I've joined the squares to the base, I've then worked on the side. And I worked up until where the cord is. I made it roughly the same height as the square. I've then worked, and this was all half double crochet. I've then worked 3 double crochets, did a chain and skipped 1, 3 double crochets, and I've carried that all the way around. I didn't count my stitches, so there's 1 there that's only got the 2, I believe. Yep, so there's 1 that's only got the 2. Not bothered by that. If you're bothered by that, then you can do your stitch counting. Oh, and then I've got 1 that's got extra. So yeah, a little bit all over the place, but it won't matter when you're using it. Okay, and then after that I've done more rows of half double crochet until it was about half the height again, so that combined is about this, a little bit less than there. So it's all about dimensions here to be a bucket bag. You could always have more squares if you wanted, and then less of that, entirely up to you how you want to make it. I've used this twisted rope, some of that, and just weaved it through and knotted it. You could create your own crochet a cord if you wanted to. I wouldn't put these too far apart, because what you'll end up with is it won't close quite so well. So I'd rather have more loops than less, but I also don't want too many because that just gets frustrating as well. Okay, but yeah, so there is this month's inspiration. So let me know if it's inspired you to make one or not, what size you would make, what colours. I'm always excited to see. And if you love granny squares, by all means come and join the Hooked on Crochet Club. There'll be links in the description. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll have a new granny square project every month.